your assets.
We can crack the wallet.
Oh, we've done it before.
We've got rigs, character adversary, attribution mode.
With our private keys combined.
Building some kind of blockchain super weapon.
There's just a number of vulnerabilities that are in these smart contracts.
Math. It's probably secure.
They all secretly mine cryptocurrency.
What coin can I trust? Which one is cryptographically secure?
Don't roll your own crypto. CoinSec podcast. Welcome to the CoinSec podcast. We're here for... Oh, he's got the sound effects now.
Nice.
Now I feel like I'm in Miami.
See, Steve, we told you this is going to be the most the least professional interview.
I missed it. The audio cut out for me right when he did it. So
Well, he can. I'm sure I'll do it again at an opportune time.
yeah, opportune times.
Oh, there it is. All right, so we're here for episode 64, and we've got a guest. We have Steve Walbroehl from Halborn Security has joined us today.
Nice.
All right,
Steve.
welcome.
Is 64 a magic number, a lucky number, I hope?
It is, yeah. You know, I mean, 64-bit, kind of fits the...
Base 64, the strongest encoding. I mean,
64,
encryption technique you can use.
The strongest.
The strongest encryption, yeah.
Exciting. Cool. Great number. Yeah, awesome. Oh, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me, Bo.
Absolutely, yeah. Glad to have you. If you want to follow along, I'll post the show notes in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, I'm sure Ryan has a way to throw up the link to Discord on the screen. But right now we've got the show notes if you want to follow along with the stories today. We're going to talk to Steve about a vulnerability that Halborn discovered, and we've got a lot of hacks to talk about as well. So let's dive in. So Steve, welcome. So Steve, if you're not familiar with Steve, which you should be, if you're in blockchain security, if you're watching this podcast, you should be familiar with Steve because Halborn have done a ton for the blockchain security industry. Steve has over 15 years of experience in cybersecurity. I've known Steve for a long time, actually.
Yeah.
It's funny. I met Steve when he worked at a different company, and we did a pen test.
Web 2 days.
Yeah, back in the Web 2 days. Yeah, yeah, and actually, he basically just showed up here just to show off how many guitars he has. Prove that he has more than me.
Kind of one up, Bo, because I just see one old man's guitar up there.
Yep. Hey, there's an Ibanez down there.
Okay. Now I see it. All right. Yeah, the screen. No, that's good. That's awesome. These are all Mayonis, Polish guitars. So. I actually don't play them though. They're just like the ones I don't want to keep at the studio because I like them too much. I don't want to look at them.
Yeah, and when he says studio, he's not kidding. Like he has a legit recording studio. I've been
there.
Yeah.
I love music. Yeah, me and Bo, we happen to
we got to get the Hack Street Boys down there.
Oh, yeah. I would not recommend that. They're more of a karaoke group, not so much a
but they could actually
actual
play live.
music.
They could play the music and we could sing, it'd be horrible. I mean,
yeah, that'd be a good way to defile the studio and curse it forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just do the bam, 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 bam in between the songs.
Yeah, you could that's the instrument you can play. Just hit that whenever you want, and you'll be part of the group. It's perfect.
Believe me, Miami DJs think that that's an instrument, so follow that with we the best.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so Steve, so you guys found a vulnerability in multiple browser wallets. Is that correct?
Yeah. So a lot of people saying oh, you guys just found this and it's a 0-day. And to be honest, we found this almost a year ago while we were. Yeah, it's been there for a while. And every time I saw something about MetaMask wallet drained, we don't know why. I'm oh God, it's leaking. But it's pretty serious. I mean, we discovered it back in Paris. We were at the Ethereum community conference there, and we had a hacker house about me and 4 other engineers, and we were just showing new hacks and new things we found. And we had this one smaller wallet that was being worked on by another company that's not around anymore, and it had this vulnerability where we were doing something like Mimikatz, scraping the disk and finding the seed phrase left in as an artifact in the heap on the memory on disk. We're man, it's really bad. And I was have you tried this on MetaMask yet, or Phantom, or Brave? And like we just started going through each one, and like all of them were vulnerable. We're like, holy shit! Like, this is pretty bad. Okay, try it on Mac. Okay, try it on Windows. Yes. Try it on Firefox, Chrome. Yes. Try it, reboot it. Stop the like it was just like always there. We're like, damn, this is really serious. So we kind of decided to get all of the wallets that were impacted in a like a really discreet kind of like embargoed like huddle to talk about it. And at first, it's like the 5 stages of grief in a way, where like, oh, this isn't a vulnerability. This is only like local exploit here, and it was hard convincing them to take it
That
serious.
sounds like a Microsoft response.
Yeah. Well, we actually submitted bug bounties to Microsoft, and Google and Oracle. I saw Brendan Ike at Lisbon, and I went up to him, sat with him at the bar, and told him about it, and he took it serious. He's like, "Yeah, this is pretty bad. It's probably JavaScript." I'm like, "Yeah, you invented JavaScript. You would know." So JavaScript was an issue, but on something separate. But so anyway, it was hard. It was pulling teeth, and we're like, well, if we can make an exploit, a POC that you double click a binary or you click a link, and I can tell you what your seed phrase is from like the other side of the world, will you take it serious? And we did that, and they're like, all right, we'll get back to you. Yeah.
So on the, I guess like on the more technical side of things, so is this something that it's being stored in like a file on disk? Is it in the browser somewhere? Like where exactly are you finding the seed phrase?
Yeah, so it took us, actually credit to MetaMask for really nailing down like exactly what was happening, because we spent a lot of time trying to figure out like what is doing it. So back to the POC, like what we knew, the mnemonic phrase is like really easy to like find because it's a BIP standard. BIP standard, like reconstruct 12 words of from that list, and there it is on disk. Like you can't really do that with a password. Like a password is any random strings put together. So how do you know where that is? So we like looked at JavaScript. I thought maybe that garbage collection wasn't cleaning it up. That was my assumption at first. Ended up being related to Chromium and Firefox. And what they were doing was taking the contents of like a text, text input in the browser, and if it didn't say password, it would dump it on disk for session restores. So that's really like what was going on. So any input field that would populate like the BIP standard on there for third seed phrase, it would keep it there for session restore. So it makes it kind of complicated. Like Time Machine backups may have it and stuff too.
Wow. I mean, that's a feature, right? That's so convenient. Anything I've ever typed in my browser is just saved there for me to find later. Yeah, I mean that's crazy. That's a good example of like, a feature or something that if you typed in your username on a website 2 years ago and then you go back and you're like, oh, nice, I still have my username typed in here. Most people are like, that's cool. But then when you start putting lots of financial information in your browser, you're like, can you not do that?
So this is basically like a caching vulnerability where it's caching that session on disk. Right?
Yeah, it's like a session restore. So like the fields that it's using is like text area and input fields, and there possibly other ones too. But there's an exception is like if it's like input type equal password, that's not captured by the browser.
Sure. So,
but of course,
this survives reboots too, right? You said.
Yeah, I think after 2 reboots from the testing, it's begins to like remove session restore, maybe like a configuration setting, but yeah, it survives reboots. That was the thing. I was like, what the heck? This has to be persistent,
resident on disk. Yeah.
Nice. So is there a workaround? Like, can you just go in your browser and turn this off, or is it like a hard coded like feature, for usability's sake?
Well, I mean, when you think about like the feature of the browsers, that's what's causing it. But we're not like patching like the browsers. I mean, that'd be a great bug bounty actually if we could go to them. I mean, I think it's just used normally, and that's why that's the password there. But what makes it like unique just for mnemonics is that predictability of you can reconstruct like the BIP standards, the words, and then the last one is a checksum for the other ones. So that's what our POC did. Just like would reconstruct, find those words, and make the checksum like, oh, it's a match, for for the bit standard.
That's awesome. This might be the first crypto exploit I'm actually going to understand.
Yeah. I'm really good at like making it like, you know, for anybody just like complicated things. That's why I teach at SANS. I can like take complicated things and make it sound
right. No, it does make sense. And so does the POC just scrape through the disk contents? Is that basically what it does?
Yeah, it scrapes through heap, memory, and disk. And the bigger your hard drive is, the bigger your memory is, the longer it takes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so you could exfil that, like you said, just deploy some kind of binary. When it's executed, it scrapes the disk and then exfiltrates it via DNS or HTTP, HTTPS, or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we had done. Was the binary, we made it double click it, and it was just like when it finds a match, just like post it inside like the URI as a string to our like listeners remotely. We'd get like a web request, like there it is.
So
right.
That was the POC. It was a just a binary to execute to search the disk, and then once it found something, just exfil that. But once it found a seed phrase, right? So.
Yep. Yeah, when it was a match, exactly. And we had another one that was like a web delivery, like a browser extension, like a malicious extension. You know, it's complicated. We didn't want to like make too many POCs because like this gets out of hand and out there, like, you know, I don't want to get in trouble. So we don't have it like on a GitHub or anything like that. It was just for testing.
Right. So, and yeah, that's what I was going to ask is there a way to do this? I mean, a browser add-on could do it, right? Because browser add-ons have privileges, more privileges than just your average web page. Is there a way to do it with like JavaScript or?
Yeah, I think there's the way PowerShell was like the original way we had done it. You know, just,
but, oh God. So what's the fix? Since it's terrifying, right? That's so. It's the exploitability is very high, and the complexity. You know, now that it's out, that someone has disclosed, oh, there's a seed phrase, you can just check if it exists or check if it's valid. What is is MetaMask actually changing this behavior, or how?
Yeah,
how did they approach it?
Yeah, we waited till all the wallets like had a fix, like a testable fix, and you know had the patches out there ready for people to download, and also like a migration tool for like in case you thought you might have been compromised, you know, or just for the safety of it. But the successful mitigations, like, well, one is use a hardware wallet with it. Of course, that's always a great one. Yeah. If your disk actually was encrypted, it's not vulnerable. That's a good thing too. So if you use like, I haven't been on Microsoft for a long time. What's
BitLocker?
Yeah, BitLocker. Yeah. Wow. You know how like deep in I am now.
Nothing has changed. It's
I'm sure it's still the same. It's just like cache is being erased pretty soon. So that's one fix. But like the real code fix that they did for their wallets was they would take the mnemonic phrase and they would change the input type name was one, and they would use a canvas element instead, which doesn't get saved there. And they also split the mnemonic up into like separate input fields that were not constructed together to be
Yeah, and it looks like I guess specifically MetaMask version 10.11.3 is where they fixed it. So anything before that, if you're running anything before that, it should be Vuln. But I believe MetaMask auto updates, right?
Yeah, it should auto update. And they have a migration utility that allows you to switch over your seed phrase, so it's not so inconvenient as well for people that have accumulated quite a bit of tokens and now have to pay gas for some of them to move over to.
Right. Yeah.
So
awesome.
with this being like a Web 2 kind of vulnerability, like Steve, what are your thoughts on organizations that they're kind of moving into like the more blockchain focused spectrum that are highly focused on Web3, and obviously like that's where I would think most security concerns for most organizations lie. What are your thoughts around like the continued effort around Web 2 security protections?
Yeah, I mean it's still the same type of vulnerabilities can be used and exploited on Web3. The thing about their concern with Web3 is because it's unknown and scary. Like, what is reentrancy? That's not on the OWASP top 10. I don't know what that is. So it's that, but also, the same old tricks work on Web3. So phishing is still there. Web vulnerabilities is still there. Man in the middle is still there, except the implications of it are like much more drastic, because like if you get a mnemonic phrase, like there's no like, reset my password or like, our we detected this with our monitoring QRadar ARC site or something. It's just like, yep, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in Tornado Cash. Buzzword, got it for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I mean, it's kind of like it feels like a traditional vulnerability because these browsers were never really built to be like financial storage vehicles, right? They were never like a browser was never designed, but then over time they became like we have all the, obviously we have our banking details and that's Web 2 stuff. And then now we have add-ons that do all this crazy stuff.
I just imagine a browser like a bicycle that you just keep adding accessories to. And next thing you know, it's got like a roof on top and like, a wind sail and like all this other stuff, right? And you're like, this is still just a bike and we're trying to drive it like a NASCAR, right?
It's like when you look at grandma's laptop and her taskbar is just like half.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what
it's true, but it's like with this stuff too, we reversed like the normal model of like a client server where the server has like a private key and your browser has like the public digital signature to do it. But now it's like the blockchain is like the public key and you have the private key to send that in traffic. So the model's kind of flipped on its head.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's like on one hand the convenience, and it's really the only way to do things a lot of the time is Web3, right? You can't just have a hardware wallet hooked into every different trading site or platform. Like it's just not, the support isn't there.
Yeah.
But then, you don't want to have all your funds sitting in Chrome or Firefox or wherever because just at least as a security practitioner it just feels dirty. You're like, that feels wrong.
For me, my methodology is if you have a large amount, put it on a hardware wallet and just like keep it there because the balance is it's inconvenient, but it's safe. And then the MetaMask, these hot wallets it's convenient. You can interact with it. Of course, you can combine the two together, like use their hardware wallet to sign through the software wallet, but then you have the the dongle and stuff around it all. So. Yeah, just if it's small amounts, quick things, if you're like just degen trading and stuff, uniswapping all day, okay, yeah, that's gonna be annoying on the hardware device. But if it's a lot of value and something you're just holding on to, just put it on the hardware drive or vault it out.
Yeah, right. I've used a what do you call it, hardware wallet for doing like what you're talking like pretty much degen, and like it gets like to fatigue where you're just pressing the button all the time and like every time you look to confirm the transaction you just stop looking like it just stops being like
I can imagine Ralph's degen workflow, right? It's hit the button, I'm aped all in, all right, rug pull, oh crap,
oh no, gotta hit the button, Ryder, come over here and hit the button as fast as you can. He's like over here spamming.
This is all true, by the way. Everything they said is true.
Yeah, I mean, and it does kind of train you badly.
Yes.
Like you're like just spam whatever comes up on that screen, hit approve.
Yeah, screw this. I'm just moving it all to MetaMask.
There was like about a 4-month window where like I have Trezor, and Trezor's like operating system for signing transactions, like it had it all in hex, and I had to like do this for like, except I was like, oh man. And especially just like a big smart contract, like
who's gonna read that?
Sign 7 contracts just to get it going. You're like, God damn it!
I know the NFT ones on the Trezor are really bad.
The Wyvern contractor.
So Steve, you mentioned, and I think this is kind of like the premise of our whole show, is that we try to bridge InfoSec, traditional InfoSec with crypto security, and kind of show the users how it all bridges together, how things are moving forward, and how to do all that. So how did you get into crypto security from a traditional like cybersecurity perspective that we do? And kind of what was your motivation behind that?
Yeah, so probably very similar to Bo, to be honest. I've been in cybersecurity for a long time, and I felt it's very, I got bored kind of in a way. And I wanted to do something here, but I also did Bitcoin for a very long time, just mining. And I became very first infatuated and intrigued, and then obsessed with like the security of blockchain, how it's like self-custody, it's new, and like you have to think about it differently. This is before smart contracts and stuff too. Once smart contracts came out, my first experience with that was with doing some for IBM when I was like working there consulting, and I audited Stellar, WorldPay internally, and Hyperledger for them. And when I did it, it was like extremely fun. It was like mini Turing complete CTFs. I was like, wow, this is great. And then I got it into it as a profession because my business partner at Halborn, he's in marketing, and he was doing all of these like token ICOs, helping them like launch back in 2017. And I was in his Slack channel like before I knew him, just following like which ones should I buy, which shitcoins should I go into, because he knew them all and he did all of them. And then they started getting hacked, and then it was like a call to action, like, does anybody know how to do these things? I'm like, I'll do it. I think I can do it. And then it just became the go-to for that for a while. Nice. And then we made a business from it.
It's amazing. Yeah, and this industry is a lot about networking, right? That's why we try to bring people together with classes and teaching. I know you do too as well. So great, great story.
Yeah. It's really, networking is a huge part of it. It's actually, I love it because I'm like a super, super fast like go guy. I get impatient in a way. Well, I just get impatient. Luckily he has, I don't. So, the fact that it moves so fast and innovates so fast, like they take vulnerabilities really serious, and like they'll fix it like the next day, or like, all right, hey, we just signed up with you guys. Can you start tomorrow? All right, great. And it's like, yes, okay, perfect. That's another thing. Like in Web 2, I just feel like, all right, are you guys available for the pen test next November? It's like,
yeah. and you just do like a cursory, you look at their website, press F12, and you're like, oh god.
Yeah. It's like, can you pen test? Like, yeah, sure. Open up Burp Suite. All right. Open Burp Suite. Here's your report for HTTP only, whatever stuff comes up default.
Yeah, and there's always that delay. They don't fix things for their patch cycles and stuff like that. Where Web 3 and Web 5, I don't even know what that is yet, but are basically more like you got to fix them right now, right?
There's the chain.
There's no delay.
What could go wrong? Halt the chain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we get a nice mix of all of it because we do. Halborn's gotten pretty influential, or we now do everything for larger companies and smaller like DAOs. There's some pretty big corporations that we help out that are getting into blockchain, which is really cool to see it being adopted at that level, and making the same pitfalls that you always do for normal like new technology, and helping through that. So definitely see the different sides of it and the approaches from the fast startup mentality and the large companies getting to it.
Yep.
Nice.
Different risk levels too, with that.
Yeah, you ever do a test for a DAO and you just the pen test report or whatever just says this shouldn't exist? You can't just have you can't just have, if you purchase X amount you can commit code into the repo. Like that's an inherent massive vulnerability with like, you know what I mean? It's like, are you rich? You can hack our company.
This is like, that was a while ago. There's a huge paradigm shift for myself where some of the early audits were going through it, and we found like emergency withdrawal with one key. Okay, that's finding, right? And then, hey, we found this, like, and they're like, yeah, we know it's there. It's supposed to be there. Like, let me
go. Is your finding just labeled potential rug pull here?
If this is okay, so you guys are aware of the wrecked list,
Yeah,
of course.
So, we had a perfect track record, and we have one entry on the wreck list. I won't say who it is, just go look at it. But it was something that we found, and we said, okay, well, risk accepted. And then it got, it got hacked. It's not like a rug, but like a risk that they accepted. And but it's like, okay, well, we don't get the credit that it's on the report. It just shows you that people don't read the report.
So, of course. Yeah.
All we know is like audited by Halborn, wrecked.
Yeah, that's bad too, right?
Yeah. So now it's like, all right, well, we learned a lesson. So now it's like, we do not support this, promotion of this like report. If like they don't fix it, we're not going to put it out.
Sure.
That's like my hard stance for it. It's like just too much to lose, man. Like, you guys are security people here, and it's like if you do Web3, you have your reputation to like lose.
Absolutely.
Public,
right. Yeah, and it's so different in the blockchain space because everyone's just bragging about who pen tested that or who tested them, right? Yeah. It's like it's so different. Like obviously our vendors prefer to remain anonymous. They're not like hey, Black Hills, who are all your clients? Oh, here's a list. And they're not like some do publicly announce, oh, we've been working with Black Hills on this or whatever. But it's not a thing that they would go out and brag, oh, we got audited by this company.
Yeah, like
versus
they're
in
not
the
going to put
blockchain
it on their
space.
website.
Right.
Yeah.
In the blockchain space, it is everywhere. You see every company or every like what trying to be legit crypto startup has like a audited by whatever or something like that.
I mean, it's a blessing and a curse. Like it's our pen test reports are marketing materials now. Perfect.
Yeah, right.
It's awesome in a way, but it's also like, okay, we got to make sure that we are very thorough.
Right. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, that's a tough, I mean, that's a discussion like, hey, we're going to publish this like a day after we get it. You're like, what? Like,
yeah. No, so, and then also now, we have, even for us, there's literally imitators that we were audited by Halborn, and then like they posted a report and this our cover sheet, and I was like, wait, I don't remember this client. I downloaded it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like, you mentioned like, oh, you like to kind of have this integrity sort of thing where if they don't fix issues, you will, pull their approval or whatever. Do you have like a place on your website where people can see like all the companies that you sort of like approve, or on GitHub or wherever that like are sort of like an actively maintained list,
like a revocation list too.
Exactly.
Like which one have you revoked? Yeah.
Like did they actually test them?
Yeah, usually like there's no revocation list. Like they're just there. Once it's out there, it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a GitHub of all the public reports. That's where they put them and are sorted. And there's like we've done over 1,000 like clients by now, and it's pretty big. And it's funny, like when we talk or on board with some like the traditional TradFi corporates, like, so can we have a sample of your output reports? Like, yeah. And like, oh, crap.
You could have a lot. Yeah. So I guess the thing to do if someone's fake claiming they were audited by Halborn, you can go on their GitHub and see all the companies they actually have done, not just people that found their PDF, cut it up, and said, "Here you go."
Yeah, and I just threw a link to it in Discord too.
Cool. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I would think about making like NFTs and stuff of the pentest reports, so you can like prove it's like there. And I was like, yeah, it is a great idea. I was just like, people just wouldn't get it yet.
Yeah, we actually. So what's funny about that is, so we have a story today that's a law firm that served a restraining order as an NFT.
No. Yeah, I was gonna say there's probably some like startup style law firm that would work with you to figure out how to do that and actually make it legally binding. Where like if they don't own the NFT, they don't own the report or whatever.
Yeah, proof of ownership, proof of authenticity. I mean, the purpose of it's not about like flipping JPEGs.
Right. Right click, save as report. Now it's mine.
Yeah, it's like hashing it and stuff. Yeah, it's like a hash. Like, oh, show me your MD5 sum on your report to prove it's the same one. So, yeah, but that's you can do that. But is that MD5 sum hash? One out Halborn has, that would be like the NFT. You could put that up there and be like, this is like one that we've done before. There's a match and it's immutable.
For sure.
Nice. So Steve, I know that you have other interviews that you've got to run off to. If you want to hang out, feel free to hang out. We're going to go through the news.
Cool. All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'll hang out. And I really like the website there with the demonic vulnerability introduction. That's cool. Nice.
That's your website, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my website. Yeah, it's awesome.
This is the first time you've seen it? That's awesome.
You're like,
no, I've seen it before, but I didn't know it was like, I didn't know they updated it with that on there.
Oh, cool.
Wow. See, there's stuff going on I don't know about.
See, JavaScript isn't just evil; it can be good too.
Yeah, I was like, copy the HTML code and just like add extra words in it and show it. That's cool. No, that's nice. They updated it. All right. Looks good, guys. All right, so, I'll be out for a bit, but it's great been chatting with you guys. Nice to see you again, Bo, and nice talking about all this stuff. You had fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to have you on. If you want to drop anytime, just feel free to drop. We're gonna go through the news. Feel free to comment too, because we love to get outside opinions on this stuff too. Okay. But yeah, anytime you want to come back on and talk blockchain security, please come back.
All right, I'll tweet you. All right, sounds great. Thanks.
All right, so first story we've got is a law firm that serves a restraining order via NFT. I just mentioned that a minute ago, and I thought it was such a fascinating use case of blockchain tech. All right, so law firm Holland & Knight has become the first to serve a restraining order as an NFT. I believe so. Basically, the gist of this is like, a typical smart contract hacker got served because obviously they have the wallet address to send an NFT to. So
That
in a
is
press,
that's so interesting.
I think this feels like more like a press event, right? Like,
so it was
so
on
meta.
behalf of their client, right? So they were hired
LCX.
by a client that got wrecked. And then when they decided to retaliate, they retaliated against the hacker on the blockchain. So it's kind of like hit them where they live, right? So they served them a restraining order, which is funny. It's like restraining order. Like, I don't have to be near you to hack you, so that doesn't really make any sense. But
yeah, they can include all kinds of things, no contact and stuff like that.
I wasn't talking to them. I was
Don't
talking
send
to
our
the
website
smart
packets
contract
anymore.
I was talking to the smart contract.
No more packets. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't send our website back.
Your MetaMask wallet better not connect to our site.
Never again.
Either way, it is always cool to see traditional, suit wearing kind of companies getting into the world of blockchain, I think, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's the whole point, like kind of showing how the normal world, as I would say it, is converging with the crypto world. Finally, we started out, we're kind of like this underground, ooh, what is crypto? And now it's, becoming more mainstream. People are seeing the benefits of it. And apparently law firms can now use it to serve people. So that's pretty cool.
I wonder how much gas they had to pay.
Wonder where it's going to next, how much gas. Yeah. Oh yeah. And the plaintiff? No, the defendant is probably responsible for the gas fees at the end.
It's like, you've been served. Please pay 300 Gwei.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah, no, I mean, it's cool. I think it, more than anything, like Ralph said, it's kind of a press release, marketing stunt, whatever you want to call it. But it is still cool that a company cares enough to do a marketing stunt in the crypto space.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we can use the bingo buzzword today. Transactions which were obfuscated using Tornado Cash.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
tornado! We've got a few of those today. So the thing I was wondering is, like, all right, so if you can serve somebody via NFT, can there be legal ramifications for exchanges now to actually interact with that wallet in any context?
I can't imagine. That's what I was thinking, because I was thinking, like, so the whole point of a restraining order is to, like, I assume it has to be delivered by like law enforcement or like some other like legally endowed entity, right? It has to be like, it's similar to like a subpoena where like they have to like confirm a human is like, are you this person? You're like, yes. So like, here you go. So I'm assuming on the blockchain it has no legal, like, what are they going to be like? Well, we sent it to your wallet. You didn't see it. Like,
yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, this says they airdropped.
It's in my hidden folder though.
They airdropped it. They airdropped the NFT.
So,
right.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, there's no way that,
well, you
I don't,
can't.
yeah.
So to be fair, you can serve Buddy by pasting in some cases, serve them by putting it on their front door, right? And just walking away. And
right. But they're an anonymous hacker. They're an anonymous hacker. So all they have is an address. All they have is a wallet address. That's why they did it this way, because they don't know who it is. They just know, here's your wallet. So they're like, go to their wallet, stick something on the door that says, do not send packets. Don't ever talk to me or my son ever again. And that's that. It's
interesting. The New York Supreme Court said that it's a legitimate way to do that. So interesting.
That's awesome. I mean, I guess it's good in the case of an anonymous, person who knows who it is, but at least you know where the wallet address is. You can track that and you can post it. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I guess if you check your wallet and you have a restraining order, you messed up. But we should start sending fake.
I just thought of evil.
We should start sending fake restraining orders to people as NFTs, like airdropping them. I mean, we already talked about airdrop.
Don't put that out there. Man.
Fake restraining orders as NFT. Here we go. Oh, and then it'll be like, hey, pay this much, and we'll or take away the restraining.
We already talked about airdrop phishing, right? So.
Restraining order.
Why did you manifest that?
Restrainware. Come on.
We have 4 evil brains here, Bo.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, what I meant was you should airdrop people fun pictures of cats that are just really cute and have no security or legal ramifications.
Yeah, and then set up a marketplace and then call them CryptoKitties. Awesome.
Yeah, sure. Just airdrop me a CryptoKitty. I guess that's where we're going. I guess is what...
All right, so next story we got first hack of the day, ApolloX hack, 2.1 million. So ApolloX is a cryptocurrency derivatives exchange founded by experts with backgrounds in traditional finance institutions, technology companies, and other leading crypto exchanges. Network was hacked by malicious players who carted away 53 million APX tokens worth 2.8, I guess, somewhere between 2.1 and 2.8. Depends on the market that day.
I was going to say, wow, there's a crypto market with 2.8 million in it. Wow, that must be a pretty solid market. No, I'm just kidding.
So I guess this hacker exploited a bug in the network's trading rewards contract. So this was kind of interesting. I was reading through this. They were able to accumulate valid signatures to withdraw the APX tokens, and the way they did that is basically like a signature replay type of attack, because there's two similar contracts that had the same signer. And so they took a signature from another transaction to a different contract that was similar and basically replayed it in order to have a valid signed transaction.
You can do that?
Basically the signers of the two contracts were the same address. That's the issue.
They did not use Tornado. That's all. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. I guess actually it also said that they begged, the hacker begged for gas fees.
Oh yeah, this is fascinating, right? So check this out. So this is the hacker basically sent a bunch of random people. I guess they're technically not that random. Like
even gas is up on the internet as well.
And said, "Hey, send me a Matic, just one Matic." And so random people sent him a Matic, and he ended up using that same wallet to do this exploit.
So the idea is it's untraceable?
He's trying to implicate other people.
Oh,
wow.
So if somebody ever begs you for money, just don't give it to them.
You're
in a bank heist.
The real world ramification of this is super funny. It's like, hey man, can I have $5? You give it to them. They go buy a balaclava. They go buy a balaclava and then just go smash a bank. You're like, whoa. Can I borrow that hammer you're holding? Sure. They just run.
And he's like aiding and abetting.
Yeah, right.
That's funny. I mean, I assume there's not not really legal ramifications of giving someone $1, so to speak. Like you're not like.
But I do think it's interesting though, because then that takes away the thing where where did he get the original token? Or
it makes it yeah.
Isn't there like a funding terrorism thing?
I mean, I don't know, but I pay taxes, so am I implicated?
I guess it depends on what country you live in.
Right? You pay taxes in a country that, you pay taxes in Russia. Well, now you're a terrorist.
Oh, God.
All those ransomware campaigns are funding terrorism.
They are.
No,
I don't.
Yeah. I guess that is a common vulnerability. I mean, it is. Is this the first time we've seen the same signature being used on multiple contracts? It's kind of a weird.
I have not seen this yet. I don't know if Steve from Halborn's still on or not, if he's seen this or not. But this is the first time I've seen this particular one. Okay, yeah. So he's not here, but yeah, I have not seen this before. Seems like a pretty interesting, unique attack. So
yeah, I guess watch yourselves. Watch for those signatures.
Next up, we've got inverse finance Oracle manipulation. So this is one we actually talked about. This is a blockchain entity that we talked about a few months ago when they were hacked for 15 million in a price manipulation attack. So another Oracle manipulation attack has hit the same protocol. Their DOLA lending market. The attacker was able to manipulate the pricing of the YV Curve 3 crypto used as collateral. The inverse Oracle misuses the balances of assets in the pool to directly calculate the LP token price. This has a flash loan element to it, guys. What is that, bingo word number 3? Or where are we at?
That is
Yep.
so fun. I can't believe they used a flash loan to obtain the funds to exploit the protocol. That's so surprising.
Very.
They never do that.
Funds were then withdrawn from the contract and swapped to ETH, 1,000 of which have been deposited into Tornado Cash, and 68 remain in the address.
Misuses the balance of assets in the pool to directly calculate the LP token price. Whoopsies. Yeah, that's I guess, I've talked about it before of these cross-chain, markets have a really tough job of like figuring out how much is everything worth at any given time, all these tokens, all these things that like really is there a way to calculate how much it's worth? They design these oracles, and the oracles have to make judgments based on like, we're going to trade now, what's the value? So I think it's just an inherently tricky thing to do accurately. Like if you gave me the job of predict the price or, accurately tell me the price of crypto down to the microsecond, that's got to be hard. But
yeah, I mean, it looks like you said, it's down to the underlying pool. Like the oracle determines its price based on what's in the pool. So when they like massively just pull funds out of one side of the pool, it manipulates the oracle. And then it looks like they did it before and after. So
yeah,
they knew what they were doing.
Price manipulation. Yeah, I mean, price manipulation has obviously been an issue in traditional finance, and that's why they have like,
why
rules.
isn't there limits on like they say they was able to manipulate the price by doing basically a whole bunch of wrapped BTC. So shouldn't there be like limits that would keep the pool from being out of balance? I would think if there's only like 1,000 tokens in the pool, you can't say, well, I want all 1,000 of them and I'm gonna,
I mean, you
trade
could
them
also
somewhere
just
else.
not let people borrow 15 or whatever $1 million in flash loans. I mean, that's another option.
No, that's not possible.
I mean,
Why am
you're
I the
right.
bad guy,
We've talked about it before. Some people have done it. Anomaly detection on the chain of like, oh, this is the entire pool. But then like, of course, because it's deregulated and it's like supposed to be open, if some whale walks in and wants to withdraw 15 million, they're supposed to be allowed to. So it's tough. It goes against what the blockchain stands for to say, oh, we don't allow this, because of course you should allow everything because it's an open, deregulated, man. It's open. We don't have NASDAQ in here.
Free
telling us
market, man.
we can't. It's like, yeah, it's free market. Cool. Like I own all the cows, so I set the price for cows. Like, oh, this is bad. Like it's very, it is bad, but
It's bad.
But yeah, I mean, these cross-chain pool type of things are always just
Which
in
is
my
the
opinion,
same as our next news.
they're
article.
difficult. Yeah, they're just oracles are hard. I mean, that's what, and especially with this market gully or whatever we're gonna call it, the oracles have to be super accurate because they're if you hard cap it low, if you hard cap it high, if you.
It seems like every day we hear something new getting depegged, right?
Right. Yeah.
So next up we have Gym Network that got hacked. So $2.1 million. Gym Network had one of its elements, the Gym Single Pool attacked. So the Gym Network is a cross-protocol DeFi aggregator designed to optimize the yield farming process on BNB chain and make it simple for beginners. The pool's design lacked a collar verification tool, allowing malefactors to raise their balances without providing money to them. So when I started looking at the details of this one, it basically looks like the attacker could create fake deposits to the contract, and those deposits were still processed despite the attacker not actually spending any coins. So they deposited fake coins, but actually were able to pull out real coins from this contract.
Yeah, take this fake $100 bill, right?
No, it's like going to the bank and be like, "Here's some Monopoly money. Can I get change?"
Fake deposits. Yeah. And they did use Tornado Cash.
And again, like we were talking about earlier, that was audited by both Certic and PeckShield. And again, so that kind of brings a negative light on them, right? Oh, this was audited by them, but it was still exploited. And it's not always the case that maybe there were findings that just weren't patched. So
well, no, they introduced a faulty code themselves 2 days
afterwards.
ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
So yeah.
Yeah, and hey Ryan, pull that screen back up that had that code section. Yeah, scroll down a little bit. Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, that. All right. So this particular function, they left it vulnerable without a caller verification. So they have this function, this deposit from other contract function, that allows deposits to be made from an external context. So this is not required to be like the owner of the contract. It's not required to be somebody that has actual permissions that is allowed to call this function. Anybody can call this function. So that is the, I guess, the function that.
So this deposited straight into the pool. Ah, I see. So not into the attacker's wallet, but they manipulated the price based on.
Right. So they deposited fake coins into the pool, right? But then
which allowed them to then
withdraw actual. Yeah.
I can't believe the price went from 0.00099 cents. Or $99 to 0.00048.
It's wicked drop.
Half, man.
So it's really that token was super valuable before.
Yeah, and like you guys brought up, we were just talking about this with Steve from Halborn as well. How like these have been audited, right? Like this contract was audited, and they took that audit. They're like, we're good to go. Yeah. Why not add some new stuff to what we just had?
And why would you have a deposit from a contract? Anyways, haven't we talked about that before? Deposits should come from addresses, not contract. I guess unless you're probably doing a flash loan, then it's going to say this has to come from another contract, but you shouldn't be able to arbitrarily.
Yeah, on the DeFi pools, it's like impossible to not have it come from a contract, right? Because that's how like cross pool, like it's like a whole, it's a whole thing.
Yeah. So. If you get an audit, don't change your code after the audit.
Well, and I mean, I think if you're investigating a potential place to invest, maybe look at when they were audited, what block commit, or what. And I'm sure that in the report they probably say what code they audited, like at what commit signature or what blockchain signature they audited it. So
yeah.
And of course, PeckShield also, said, "Not on us. We audited this. We audited this 2 years ago, and this code was from 2 days ago." And it is also scary, right? 2 days is all it took. So they introduced a vulnerable code, and then it was exploited within 2 days. So, like as a developer, man, I mean, you got to have PTSD if you're like a crypto developer. You're like, if I implement anything,
have like alerts that whenever the code gets changed, they can go
for sure. No doubt, dude. There's got to be people that are just watching the commit log, and anytime something pops up, they go and manually look at it and see if it's,
just
bad.
Tear it up, man.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the next story we have is Osmosis, decentralized exchange hack, around $5 million by taking advantage of a bug affecting the Osmosis Exchange, leading to an emergency halt of the blockchain. How many I'm not a fan of all these halts, like
halt.
You would be if you had your money in here.
Yeah.
Well, we saw Solana get halted. Was it 2 weeks ago when we talked about it?
Yeah.
There's actually another one after this one that got halted as well.
Didn't Solana get halted multiple times? I don't know.
It has, yeah.
Yeah.
So developers and network participants took a blockchain offline Tuesday night, making the decentralized cryptocurrency exchange running on top of it inoperable. And that was after a bug that let a hacker steal $5 million. So a few hours before that, a Reddit user called StraightHat3855 warned of the existence of the flaw on the Osmosis blockchain in a post of the subreddit of Cosmos Network. The primary function of the Osmosis chain is to run its decentralized crypto exchange, which is an exchange that uses smart contracts and algorithms to enable token swaps and set prices. So they warned about this, and then it got actually hacked.
I mean, it's bad if they're not even publishing code. They're just like, "Hey, I put in my money and then I took it out, and now I have 50% more money." It's not even like it's not like, "Oh, I found a reentrancy vulnerability." It's sort of like, I just printed free money. Is anyone else seeing this?
Yeah, like how? So yeah, so like the person posted on Reddit, they said, "Go put $5 in pool number 1, add liquidity, then remove liquidity. Now you have $15." Like
Right.
how?
I mean, it's seriously, it's like if you, it's like those, scammy Bitcoin. You send me one, I send you back two.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
But it's real. That's the thing. It's real.
Where's it getting those funds from, though?
Exactly. Where?
Well, it's not. It's getting them from its own, pool. So.
Well, at some point it's got to run out if that's what happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's probably why they halted it, right? Because they're the ones that are going to be on the hook for this. Probably if they're minting, or if they're, depending on how the code works, they're probably creating additional funds that don't exist, and they're going to have to pay up.
Yep, sucker.
But that's fun, and by fun I mean terrible, but also like so basic that I can't believe it was missed. Like
this is the Starbucks of hacks here.
I wouldn't say it's the Starbucks of hacks. I would say it's like the world's oldest con. You give me 1 apple, I'll give you back 2 apples in a week. It's like the Ponzi scheme. But it's real.
Yeah, but it still works.
It's like a real Ponzi scheme that you don't have to like wait for someone to call you to pay out.
Hey, code is law, man.
Code is law. Code is Ponzi.
I guess that's probably why they halted it, because code is law, and they're going to be the ones on the hook for paying for all of it.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one is, this is an interesting story that I am honestly still trying to wrap my head around this. So I need you guys to help me with this. All right, so Elrond, there was a virtual machine exploit of the Elrond network. And this effectively brought down the Maiar, Maiar Exchange as well. Now, I didn't see a whole lot of news about this one, but allegedly $113 million was stolen here. And yeah, that's a lot, I mean, obviously, like, we're a little jaded, I think, when it comes to the amount stolen in most of these cases. But all right, so this is not a smart contract bug. The founder and CEO of Maiar Exchange, Benjamin Minku, tweeted that the issue has been identified and an emergency fix was implemented. So 3 wallets were able to mysteriously withdraw 800,000, 400,000, and 450,000 EGLD, which I read that as e-gold, kind of.
E-gold.
It's different though, right? Like it's not e-gold though, right? That's old school.
E-gold.
It got shut down. They were like, oh, look, the gold's over here. Okay, money laundering.
I mean, we're talking about a different protocol, right? Like this is different than old school e-gold, right?
Yes.
All right, so that's good to clear up at least first. Which at current prices is worth nearly $113 million. Okay.
But they tanked the price when they tried to start pulling it, of course.
Exactly, right? So this is where the confusion sets in for me. So one of these stories says that the attackers were able to sell around 800,000, not e-gold, but EGLD, worth around $54 million, which caused the price of EGLD on Maiar to plummet from $76 down to $5. The rest of crypto, either still held in various wallets, has been bridged to USDC or Ether, or was sold on centralized exchanges. So that statement says that the attacker took the tokens that they stole and was able to sell them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the post that was created by Elrond, the network themselves, they say that they were able to recover all the funds. This is where I'm not connecting the dots. Like, so how are they able to recover these in full?
So maybe when they say recover, they just mean like they went and bought back all the not e-gold.
They bought it from the attacker, maybe?
I don't know. No, I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you where it doesn't make any sense. It could also, I mean, it could just be a straight up misleading statement by the Elrond people. Like that is, it could just be like, don't run, we're okay. Like, it could be just false reassurance. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see some of these.
The sky's not falling. It's okay.
We need some like Sherlock Holmesing of the blockchain.
So listen to the statement. This might clear up a little bit. So it says it's unclear how the Maiar team was able to retrieve the funds or how exactly the hack occurred. Minku referenced not 1 but 2 mainnet upgrades, which typically refers to rolling out a new blockchain version. So are they just hard forking back to?
It seems like that. I don't know. I mean, that's what that sounds like to me. It's like the funds aren't gone. Look at this chain over here. Like, Okay,
Yeah.
but that's not the that's what?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it does break it down that they're executing a specific asynchronous callback called execute on destination context by caller, which allows the attacker to drain EGLD from any contract at once, which is, wow. I mean, you could basically drain the whole network, right?
Yeah, that's not good. But that
No.
seems like a good reason for a hard fork. But will people be willing to reinvest? I don't know.
Right.
Anyways, interesting story. The next one, this one, I found this next one to be really, really interesting. All right, so Wintermute. So if you followed any of like the blockchain news over the last couple weeks, you might have seen where Optimism, the layer 2 protocol on top of Ethereum, they made their own governance token and they airdropped it to a bunch of people. So the airdrop of this token was supposed to go to Wintermute as well. The loan was initially deployed on Wintermute's wallets on Optimism, but Wintermute CEO Evgeny Gavoy said in a statement that we made a serious error. So check this out. So they deployed this airdrop to a wallet on Optimism that did not have the Gnosis Safe proxy deployed there yet. So a hacker, meanwhile, so hold on, let me back up. The wallet address Wintermute used to receive the loan was inaccessible because it relied on Ethereum layer 1 multi-signature technology that had yet to be deployed on Optimism, which runs as a layer 2. So a layer 1, right, like foundational Ethereum blockchain function, which is a Gnosis Safe proxy, which is a way to do multi-sig transactions, right? They provided that address to Optimism on layer 1, but on layer 2, there was no Gnosis Safe yet. So hacker took advantage of this technological lapse by basically deploying their own Gnosis Safe proxy with that address and receiving $20 million or 20, whatever it is worth of tokens.
Oh my god!
How could they not have done this themselves faster than whoever was out there?
That's
probably because they didn't even realize. I mean, it's a third party, right? So they're like, okay, send the funds. They're like, okay, we sent them. We're like, we don't see them. Okay, maybe the blockchain's just updating. Meanwhile, someone else is like, oh, I got an idea. I mean that is brutal. I mean, I feel bad for them, but also like check yourself before you end up on wreck.
Wait, when was this? When was this exploited?
This is 1st of June, or let's see.
So it says the attacker's address was funded first, June 1st via Tornado Cash.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, this is there was a news story. Oh, ayo, Tornado Cash. There was a news story that I saw the other day where there was a Japanese village, and in that village they did COVID stimulus payouts. And they accidentally just sent the entire payout for the whole city to one guy.
Yeah.
And then he gambled all the money away.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it was like, I think it was like 100. It was like, it wasn't millions. It was like 150 grand or 50 grand or something like that. But they basically were like, his name was the first in the list of people. Like he was like AA, like alphabetically. And so they messed up the code or whatever they were going to use to deploy it, and he just got all the money. It's kind of like that. The only difference is that there is a criminal element to this because whoever deployed that proxy is malicious, right? That is like.
Well, so all right, so the thing that's interesting is Steve asked about timing, right? Like, and how come they didn't fix this faster? So this makes it even more interesting here. So the attacker was funded on June 1st, then they deployed the contract. They waited 4 days before actually hijacking Wintermute's proxy and getting the coins. So there was a period
I don't think there was a wait. They had to create batched addresses to match the nuance of the same contract.
So they were kind of like brute forcing it?
They were brute forcing it. It took time.
Oh, okay. So it took some time for them to get a valid, I guess,
signature,
address, right? Signature, yeah.
Whatever. Yep.
Interesting.
That's interesting. I mean, I guess where you were going with that, Bo, I assume was like Rug. Oh, but yeah, it seems like it's more just the like not a rug.
We
not
haven't
a rug,
said that
but
yet today, so we can't cross the bingo.
That's
trail.
true. That's true. I mean, I don't know. This one doesn't get my rug senses tingling, but I guess it is possible. But yeah, I mean, I think like Steve said, it was just like a subsequent, had to loop over the nonces to get the right address that would match the proxy. But that's so brutal. Like, I feel bad. I feel bad for them that this happened. Like, especially because it's like a third party, so it's like it's like, hey, I'm buying your card. Did you get the money? And they're like, no. You're like, uh-oh.
Yeah. It's like, hey, PayPal me some cash or whatever, right? And you like put the address like you mistyped it or whatever,
right? Yeah, like, I know.
Like,
it is it,
bro. You sent me the wrong address.
I mean, I will say it's kind of on them that they didn't have this deployed. The layer 2 wasn't deployed, so I don't know. But
yeah, totally on them.
But that it just shows you. I mean, if you're going to be in this space, there is massive complexity that is just difficult to navigate. Even if you have experts, even if you have people, like when you're arranging this stuff, it's just very difficult to make it secure at the same time. So watch yourself.
Yep. Well, that was the last story for today. I know, Steve, I don't know how much time you want to spend.
I got a quick demo real quick.
Okay, cool.
Do it in multiple transactions. You're about to send someone 20 mil. Do it in multiple transactions.
Live hacking, yo.
So first of all, I want to state this this is not my website, and please do not visit this website. It is a phishing site. It's a MetaMask phishing site. So cautionary warning there. So what I'm doing here is I'm browsing to this metamax-io.com. So they're trying to play on people's basically ability to type the address wrong, right? And then come to this site. Or maybe they're doing ad campaigns on Google or wherever, and they're raising this site up to the top. Not MetaMask, but Firefox will tell you that this is a potentially bad site, but you can continue and go ahead, I believe. Maybe not. Well, crap. I think this browser is going to actually keep me from doing it.
What is going on? Whose mic was that?
I think that was Bo's mic. Hey, go to see details, or I thought there was a button there.
It sounds like Bo's microphone got hacked. It's still bad.
Steve, go to see details.
Oh God, no. It's
and then
Steve's
go to
mic?
ignore this risk. Ignore the risk. Oh God, I'm pretty. Yes, no, I'm pretty sure that'll still work. You could also try typing in "this is unsafe." Oh no, this is Firefox. That's for Chrome. It really does not want us to hack this.
Yeah, it really doesn't want you to go here. But anyway, this site will show up.
Steve, it sounds like you're coming in on AM radio. I don't know.
Steve got hacked by going to this site, guys.
I think Steve's got one too many VMs running or something. Yeah, your mic sounds like shortwave radio from the 90s.
Oh, look at that. It's like a video, too.
Oh, no. Steve, are you okay?
We're losing Steve. Oh, God.
His computer's going to crash. It's going to crash. I know it.
Oh, man. Nope.
We can't hear you, bro. All right. Well, this was fun. Good way to end.
So I guess, okay, let's just, even though nothing actually happened, this is what happens if you go to a phishing site.
Yes.
Your whole computer will burn down. Your microphone won't work. Your webcam will start flexing in weird ways.
Yep.
Yeah. No. I think
the phishing site has stolen your microphone.
It got into your microphone and destroyed it.
That is, wow. Basically, don't go to a phishing site.
Yes.
Woo.
All right. Well, this was fun, guys. Let's wrap this up. I want to send thanks again to Steve Walbroehl from Halborn for joining us today. That was awesome to get his view on the vulnerability. If you missed that, if you tune in late, go back and watch the beginning of the show. We had Steve on. It was awesome. And thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for joining. Follow us on the Twitters. Smash that subscribe button on YouTube. All the influencer words, things. Join our Discord. Come talk to us. It's been quiet in there. We need some more voices. We need people to talk. So come join us. Our link to that is on coinsecpodcast.com. We will catch you next week. Thanks, guys.
All right. Later, guys.
Thanks,